right. Good evening and welcome to Free the Truth News, where we cover the news that mainstream media refuses to show you or that gets squashed or censored. I'm Jennifer Justice, your host. Got an exciting show lined up for you guys today. A couple weeks ago, we discussed the strict lockdown measures that are taking place in Victoria, Australia. They seem to have upped the ante. When we talked about it last, they were not allowing people out of their homes except once a day, either to exercise or to go shopping, only for 1 hour with a mask and social distancing. And there were even some apartment complexes which were completely locked down, nobody allowed to leave at all because one person in the building tested positive for COVID. Streets are locked down. They have so many police crawling the streets right now. But some new recent developments have been going on in which the thought police have been unleashed upon the streets of Australia. And what do I mean by that? There were a couple of viral videos in the last couple of weeks. One of them was of a pregnant woman. The police burst into her home and told her she was being arrested for incitement. When she asked on what grounds, they referred her to a Facebook post, which was detailing a protest, which had not even happened yet. So basically, she got arrested. All of the devices in her home, including laptops, iPhones, what have you, were seized. Another video went viral. This one was censored a lot more quickly, so most people have not seen it. I have that clip of a man on his porch talking to police who then break into his house. This was also over a Facebook post. Give it a watch.
Yeah, I've just gotten up. What? Are you going to open the door, yes or no? Give me a minute. Well, what is this in regards to? What's it in regards to? You haven't told me anything. Incitement. Incitement for what? You know you've spoken to your colleagues online, I know. I told them not to go to the protest. Well, come and tell me that. Well, I'm telling you right now. I can speak to you right now. Open the door. Now. Why do you want me to open the door when I'm speaking to you guys right now? Why? Just explain what you're doing first, and then perhaps I'll comply easily. But you're just yelling, you got people everywhere. Explain, just talk to me properly. Like, what is going on? You've just rocked up with force, got no idea, like early in the morning. Can you just explain, and then I will open the door? What's it to do with? Yeah, hold on. What's it to do with, though? What have I done? Come down and open the door. No, you didn't tell me. We did. Wait. Yeah, okay, search warrant for what? What are you suspecting me of doing? He said he's going to come downstairs, he's not, so... Yeah, to do with what? No, if you do that, I will charge every single one of you. I'll take you to court and you're going to lose. Look at that no trespassing sign, yeah? There's 7 court case precedents from the Supreme and High Courts of Australia. You said you're coming down, you're not? Yeah, because I'm trying to talk to you first. You're not telling me what you're doing. Yeah, what's it? Search warrant for what? What gives you the authority to have a search warrant? Whoa, you do that. You know what? Leave my shit. Don't break my stuff, you fucking retard. Hey, stop breaking my shit! Leave my shit! Whoa. Yeah, okay. Alright, stop. I'll stop. Okay. Alright. Okay, stop. I'm compliant. Stop resisting! You're doing your hands behind your back.
Wow. So just for a Facebook post, they broke down his door. They took him in. They confiscated all of his electronics. It just crazy. It's like living in an Orwellian novel, a dystopian novel over there in Australia right now. And it's looking like, I mean, speaking of 1984, it's looking like the movie RoboCop might become a reality. In China and the UAE, they are using, cops are using what's called a smart helmet with a visor across it that works similar to Google Glass. And they are planning on introducing these to the US, starting at Flint Airport in Michigan. These smart helmets have the capability to thermal scan people, multiple people at a time for fevers from 21 feet away. They also have facial recognition as well as license plate recognition, and they can read QR codes. Complete invasion of privacy, if you ask me. I'm particularly concerned about the thermal scanners because there's a lot of different reasons why somebody might seem to have a fever, and it's not necessarily because of a fever. I mean, they could have had like a rush of emotions, or maybe they just walked in from 100-degree weather, or maybe they just went for a run. I don't know. The point is there is a lot of margin for error there, and I wonder at the protocols that will come with something like that. If they were to scan somebody and they were to appear to have a fever, how would the cops then treat that person, especially under the climate that we are under due to the COVID scamdemic. It's very, very concerning. However, despite all of these new technologies, which are concerning, despite all of the mandates that they're pushing worldwide, we have seen a huge global pushback. This is what the media doesn't want to show you guys. In Spain last week, they tried to arrest a woman for not wearing a mask outside, and about a dozen people all took their masks off in protest and rushed the cops and wrestled the woman out of the cops' arms. No one was arrested. The cops retreated, but yeah, I've got that video here. I'm going to show that to you real quick.
¿Para eso pagan? ¿Para eso pagan o qué?
All right, awesome. You go, Spain. Protests are happening across the globe. Like I said, the media is not showing this, but there are huge, huge protests happening across the globe right now. I've got some footage from that I was able to salvage before it was censored. I'm going to pop that up real quick.
You are all here today because you love your children. We love our children.
A joy it is to look out upon an island of sanity in a world of madness.
Etyczna katastrofa. Jeżeli ktoś chce założyć maseczkę, gumowe rękawiczki, a nawet kombinezon, bardzo proszę, ale proszę nie zmuszać nas, wolnych ludzi, do zakładania tych maseczek. Bo w ten sposób można zabronić jeździć samochodami.
Exciting stuff. The awakening is happening. I am so excited. So September 15th is supposed to be No More Masks Day in America. This has gone viral on Instagram. No more masks, everyone. Take your masks off. Refuse to wear them on September 15th. If we all stick together, I think we can really make a difference together. Also, it seems that the U.S. is fighting the mandates in the legal realm. Quite a lot of governors are being sued right now. In California, gun owners, pastors, and beachgoers are suing Governor Newsom for his tyrannical response to the scamdemic. We have DeWine of Idaho, Whitmer of Michigan, Tim Waltz of Minnesota, Jay Inslee of Washington. They're all being sued for overstepping their emergency powers. So that's exciting. Today, I actually have with me, I hope he's still on, Vincent Delaney, who's working on a, how's it going, Vinny? He's working on getting a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit up against Governor Baker, which is for the flu mandate. And I know that we were just talking about all the mandates that are happening because of coronavirus mandates and things, but I think that this flu mandate is actually really, really important because we all know that this whole push for the new normal is all about pushing this coronavirus vaccine. And how are they going to start eroding those rights? It starts with this flu shot. And we talked a couple of weeks ago about the flu shot mandate for children in Massachusetts. So, Vincent, can you talk to me a little bit about what drove you to pursue this legal action against the governor?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I lost you.
Can't hear you.
Hold.
On, we gotta get the sound up. Sorry, guys. Oh, there you go. Oh. One more time. It's still muted.
How about that?
That's perfect.
Okay.
All right. So the question was, what drove you to pursue this legal action? Like, what's making you so passionate about this cause?
Well, you know, I was the first person in the country to bring a lawsuit against Governor Baker on the shutdown. We were the first. We filed our intent months ago, and we are actually in federal court on September 2nd on the mask mandate and the shutdown. And a federal judge, we survived a 211-page dismissal by the state. And the judge told the state that there were serious violations of my constitutional rights because I brought it up, just me against the state. And he continued the hearing to October 5th and told the state to get to work. So what ended up happening when they passed this mandate for the flu vaccine was I had probably about 100 parents on my Facebook page reach out to me, sending me pictures of their kids and asking me if I could help. And I'm not a lawyer. I'm a blue-collar worker. And, you know, I basically told them, you know, I'll sleep on it. I don't know what I can do. And I woke up the next morning and I already had a legal team in place. I had done a little bit of research on the Fourth Amendment, and it seemed to fit the overreach by Governor Baker. And I called my attorney and I told him, you know, we got to get to work. I opened up a Facebook page called Flu U Baker, and started that maybe 11 days ago. We're 10,000 strong at this point. I have 5,000 signatures or more of parents that are joining the lawsuit. I have parents that are making lawn signs, and they've been distributed throughout the state of Massachusetts. we've made national news. We were on Fox's Night Court, where they had two lawyers discussing the class action that we're bringing forward. They mentioned our group specifically. We've made headlines in Berlin. You know, we've been on every news station across the country, and you know, we're fighting it on a constitutional issue. And my belief is that, you know, vaccine lawsuits have been around for 100 years, and they have lost in every state court. You know, the big pharma has won. I sat with my lawyers. I gave them a little bit different of an angle. I spoke with a very big law firm out of Washington, D.C. I told them my thoughts and how I would like to proceed. They, in turn, said we never looked at it that way, because they were looking at taking this case on, but there's no precedent for this. A case has never been brought to the federal court. And that's the route we're going to take under the Fourth Amendment. And I've just about got the legal team put together. And we have a very big rally on October 5th at the federal courthouse. We had one on Sunday at the State House. We had close to 2,000 parents there. You
that
know,
was an interesting one, because there were about 2,000 parents there I saw from like the Facebook lives, and yet when the media covered it, they tried to make it look like it was just a couple hundred.
The media is not our friends.
No, certainly not.
The media has scared an entire country into masking up, into not smiling at people, into ratting people out. And my plan is to use that power to change the narrative. And it, you know, it doesn't matter what they say. When that helicopter was live over the State House, there was no denying the amount of people. We got over 1,000 signatures that day. That's how I know there wasn't 200 people there.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to the federal courthouse. I've got permission to hold this rally there. We are going to be 5,000 strong or more at this point. And there's never been a rally at the federal courthouse. You know, the law firm had asked me what my thought on that was. You know, why the federal courthouse? And, you know, we already knocked on our house's door. You know, we let Baker know we're here. And October 5th is the same day that my case on the shutdown is being heard. The judges will be there. The clerks will be there. The federal agents will be there. And they're going to see a wave of parents about this flu mandate. And then we're going to serve them the lawsuit. They're parents too. They are grandparents. They read the news. They read the papers. They watch the news, and they are going to remember who we are. And when we bring that case forward, they will remember October 5th. And I started a fundraise drive. I was at a t-shirt printer today. I got a design together. It's flu mandate fighters. It's a fist holding a needle. And on top it says, it has the group name, Flu U Baker. And on the bottom half of the circle, it says, Together We Win. And all the proceeds will be going to a vaccinated injured children's foundation, because we can do two things at once. You know, the good Lord has brought us this far. We are the only group on Facebook that has grabbed national attention, that has been plastered on the news everywhere. You know, our group is almost 10,000 strong. We're laser focused on the mandate. We don't talk about COVID. We don't talk about masks. We talk about the overreach of government. We don't care if Charlie Baker said, mandated that we had to give our child a Tic Tac every day. We still, it's not the government place to tell us what to do. So there's a flu shot, a Tic Tac, what kind of shoes we have to wear. It's overreach of his power. And, you know, that's what we're focused on, a constitutional issue. You know, I was able to do that when we brought our lawsuit forward. And, you know, we didn't talk about the harm of what the mask does, how breathing in your own ear isn't good. It wasn't anything medical or scientific. It was a violation of my First Amendment rights. You know, the ability to smile at somebody, the ability to talk to my deaf friend and him be able to read my lips. With a mask on, he couldn't do that. You know, and we stuck to the constitutional issues, and yes, long. And we believe that when we file in the federal court, that they will take it, and you know, we will succeed in our motion to have this mandate squashed.
That's awesome. We're having a little bit of interference. Hopefully you hang in there a little bit longer. But so how can, if people want to help in this fight against the flu mandate, how can they get involved?
Well, you know, we have a Facebook page. It's called Flu U Baker. My name's Vincent Delaney. You can look me up on Facebook. You can friend me. Join our group. Join the movement that we've started. You know, our rally is October 5th. At noon time. It's at the federal court in Boston. And, you know, show up with a sign. We're going to have face painting there for the kids. We're going to have balloons. We have T-shirts, red, white, and blue with the logo on. And, you know, we need bodies at that rally because the numbers count. And
I'm just going to repeat. I'm going to repeat some of that because of the interference. So October 5th at the federal court, that's in Boston, correct? You're having a protest. So there's a protest there if you guys want to join. You can also join the group. Like you said, it's almost 10,000 strong, which is extremely impressive since this is just centered around one state. But they have that group, Flu U Baker. You can look that up, join that group, and all the info will be there for the rally as well as for other ways that you can get involved helping with this. You seem really determined and confident. Have you had a chance to collaborate with others who have from different states who have been fighting similar things in court?
I have. It's been 24/7. I get calls at 3 o'clock in the morning. Robert Kennedy has reached out to me. Other law firms from other states have reached out to both me and the attorneys. You know, we are more than happy to share our path forward. You know, but we are ground zero here in Massachusetts, and if it passes here, it'll go across this country. We will help any state that needs to get organized. And I am a constitutional guy. Doesn't matter what state it is. And I will fight for the right of every American citizen until I'm not breathing.
I think one thing that is worth mentioning is there's another bill in Massachusetts that is Becca Rauch's Community Immunity Act. So a lot of people may think, oh, it's okay, we'll just get an exemption. This flu mandate's not a big deal. But if Becca Rauch's bill passes, then it's going to be extremely hard for people to get any kind of an exemption in the state of Massachusetts. So it's another thing to keep our eye on there. So it's I think that this is an extremely important case that you've taken on.
I wanted to make one more point. I had the group when we were about 7,000 strong. Mass email the health commissioner, Bahar, and about their disapproval of this mandate and the constitutional issue. She stepped down today. So voices and emails make a difference. This is, what we are doing, it's a verb. My parents are not sitting behind a keyboard being keyboard warriors. We're about action. We're about doing. And that is the only way we will change the narrative in this state. And people need to physically show their faces and get involved in large numbers, and it makes a difference.
It does. It takes a lot of courage to do what you're doing and for others to follow along. But you know what? Together we're strong, and the more that we have joined, the easier and easier this gets, the less scary it gets, the more power we have. Power to the people, right? You got to get the legislators out, man, because they do not care about our rights.
No, they don't.
No. I think I had one more question for you. Let me see. So for those, because I know there's a lot of people who they're very pro-vax. They don't really see why this is a big issue. But a lot of people don't realize that there's over 300 new vaccines in the pipeline, and we have no control over which ones get on the schedule. We have no control over the safety testing for that. So, I mean, those are my reasons why I feel everyone should care. But, I mean, why do you think this is something that should be on everyone's radar? This should be something that everyone cares about?
Well, this is my favoriteest question. We all need to take the first step. And, for 100 years, they've been fighting vaccines, and they've been getting nowhere, and I'll equate it to putting a watermelon and a grape on the table. Everybody's trying to choke down the watermelon and getting nowhere. I'm picking up the grape and taking the easier way. We start with one mandate. If we can set precedent, we've laid the foundation, the first brick, and we deal with one mandate at a time. I know there's a bigger picture out there. I know that this is going to lead to a COVID vaccine, but that's not the issue. The issue is if we can stop his power here, when the COVID comes up, we can fight him on that. And we have to fight a mandate at a time. We have to stay focused on what we have in front of us, and everything else will fall in line. The people just have to stay united. They have to stay strong, and they have to stay laser focused. And when we take down this flu mandate, it will set precedent in this state and across the country for any other mandated vaccine.
True. And I got to tell you that coronavirus vaccine is a scary one. And if they can push the flu mandate on us, which is an annual, currently it's the only annual flu shot on the schedule. But that coronavirus vaccine is also going to be an annual one when they come out with it. And Bill Gates and Fauci are even saying that we're going to need it twice every year, and maybe even more for seniors. So to me, that's scary. If they can mandate an annual vaccine, I mean, where do you draw the line? Where do you say? A
lot of my parents give their children get the flu vaccine every year. It's not about, it's their choice, and
choice, right?
They they just don't want the governor telling them they have to. But we're not anti-vax and we're not pro-vax. We are about choice.
Right. It's a very diverse mix in your group there. You do have a lot of pro-vaxxers and a lot of anti-vaxxers, and a lot of people are kind of in between. Yeah, and it is about choice. It's about bodily autonomy. I mean, once you give away your right to your own bodily autonomy, you're not going to get it back. You won't get it back. You don't get your rights back unless you fight for them. And if we don't fight now in the courts like you're doing, we're going to end up fighting real battles over this if we want our rights back, and that's scary.
We are one of the only groups that have anti-vax, pro-vax, Democrat, liberal, Republican, independent, libertarian, and we have done what Washington, D.C. could never do. We are working together on a common goal and absolutely no arguments. It's a safe place to come to fight for our right. And we have a movement like that the state's never seen, and God help them when you know, in another month when we're 20 or 30,000 strong.
We'll get there. I know we will. And that's a beautiful thing, especially in our divisive, everything is so divided right now. So the fact that we can have a movement that can encompass like everybody, it encompasses everybody, every religion, every ethnicity, everybody. This is something that affects everyone. And so thank you so much for what you're doing. This is so exciting. Again, if you guys want to help out, you can join his group, Flew You Baker, on Facebook. Did I get the right?
Yes, Vincent Delaney. I'm on Facebook. You know, come on aboard. You know, we got to fight now. We make the stand here.
Flew You Baker class action. We got it up on the screen there, guys. Go ahead, join his group if you're interested in learning more or helping out. And again, he has that event coming October 5th at the courthouse in Boston. If you guys want to join that, numbers are important.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on with me today. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I appreciate you, and I hope I hope you come personally. And if you do, I'll have you as a guest speaker.
Absolutely, that sounds great.
Excellent. I'll put the spot in for you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you. I think you have. God bless. Let's see. I want to see if I can find the cord here. I'm going to disappear from the screen for 2 seconds because I actually want to open it up for questions. But I have to plug my phone in. Hang on. All right. Got to see if we still have the number to pop up on the screen here. If you want to call in, let us know what you guys think about the flu shot mandate, the COVID lockdowns, measures that are happening. Let me see. I don't know how to find my number on here. Let's see if we can pop it up on the screen, though. Oops. Eric, do you still have my number? I'm just gonna use my regular number. It's 508-728-8724. You can give me a call. Again, that's 508-728-8724. He's going to throw that up on the screen there. If you guys want to call, let me know your thoughts. Let's discuss this a little bit. Why do you think that they... what are your opinions? I want to hear some opinions on this. We'll chat a bit if I can get anybody to call in. 508-728-8724. You can talk about anything that's going on in the world right now, the protests, the lockdowns. It's a crazy world we're living in right now. I talked last week from my home about Sophie Long, that little 9-year-old girl whose video went viral. She was taken from her parents, from her father, and forced to share custody with her mother who was abusing her. I have a little bit more on that, but the timeline is a little unclear. I'm going to try and get better updated on that story for you guys so I can bring you more on that. Again, if you guys want to call in and talk about these mandates, 508-728-8724. But with Sophie, she ended up back with her father for a bit, and then they had another court case on Thursday where the court ruled that she had to go back with her mother. She was staying in a hotel. The court ruled that the boyfriend, who was the one who was abusing her, is not allowed to be around her or any other men that she doesn't know. And the police, people in Texas, man, they are livid about what's happening with Sophie Long, and they've been calling CPS asking, is Sophie safe? You know, where's Sophie? Is Sophie safe? And they assured people, oh, we're checking up. She's safe. She's fine. But the police never actually entered the hotel room. They never actually talked to Sophie. And it was later found out that there were several men, including the mom's boyfriend, in the hotel room with Sophie. Just a heartbreaking case, the fact that the judge would even put this child back in an abusive situation. So it's something to keep in prayer. Last I heard, and I have to double check on this, last I heard she is safe with her dad, but they have not removed custody rights from the mother, and I think that she has to go back with the mother sometime soon still. I'm going to get more details. I'm going to try and update you more on her story when I can, but it's just, I'm hoping to do a show that's all about the CPS corruption soon. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about that because it's a very serious issue that a lot of people don't know about, how corrupt CPS is in our country, and the judges and the attorneys, they're all in on it. So I'm hoping to put together a show very soon on that subject for you guys. Again, if you guys want to call in, 508-728-8724. Let me hear your thoughts about the mandates. If I don't get a call in the next couple of minutes, then we'll just end it early tonight. Craziness. So a lot of you guys know that I was vaccine injured. I discussed that in the last post. I began this news site talking about what was going on in California last year with a lot of the bills that Governor Newsom was pushing through, bills written by Senator Pan. That's what sparked this news page because the media was not covering it. There were thousands of parents banging. I have never seen this in my life, you guys. Never in my life. Banging down the Senate doors to get in to the Senate room last year, over these vaccine bills. And the media was nowhere to be found. And that's where this all began. And ever since, these bills have spread across the country, where they're trying to mandate as many vaccines as they can, where they're trying to strip away as much of our rights as if we already don't have a complete loss of rights when it comes to this issue. One of the things that they did in California is that they made it impossible to get a medical exemption. The bill still technically says you can get one, but they've basically used different clauses and things in this bill in order to intimidate doctors, so doctors are afraid to write a medical exemption. And that's exactly what this Community Immunity Act by Senator Roush is going to do if this gets through, where they're going to put the state in between you and your doctor. And the state's going to decide whether or not you get a medical exemption, and the state is going to be able to decide whether or not to strip somebody's medical license for writing an exemption. It's this kind of underhanded stuff where it's like, oh, you still have your rights. No, you don't. No, you don't, because they're basically making it impossible for you to utilize those rights. Again, with the religious exemptions in the Community Immunity Act, stripping our religious freedoms, they're going to allow different schools, whether it be public or private, to decide on an individual basis whether or not they're going to even accept a religious exemption. And what do you want to bet? There's going to be some kind of coercion from the top down so that schools no longer accept religious exemptions. It's craziness what's going on. They're trying to make it so that we have no choice. The coercion is unbelievable, you guys. It looks like we don't have any callers tonight, so I'm going to end this. We're going to sign out. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again next week. I'm just going to be doing a random rant from my home. The following week, I will be back in the studio. But thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Free the Truth News with Jen Justice.